Morning world. It's been a long time since I posted. My apologies. It's just a mixture of I can't be asked and just really busy at work. Here it is. It's on Tuesday the 4th of December and it's just gone 7:30 in the morning. Yeah, I'm at work already. I've just arrived in the car park. I'm getting here early. I'm not getting here early, but I'm leaving earlier and earlier and earlier just to get through the roadworks and all the congestion and things. It's taking me over an hour to maybe an hour and a half to get here in the morning, and on a good day it should take me no more than 20 minutes. So this is all because of a road closure. A major bridge has been closed on my way to work. This goes over a motorway. And unfortunately, the planning department around here have decided that they would allow other roadworks to take place. So every one of the alternative routes into work now have got roadworks on. Absolutely every one of them. And I did notice this morning on the way in, as another set of roadworks being put on in a little village that I go through. So, yeah, it's not great. It's been a fab couple of days recently. It's been really quite cold, which is really nice for me. My internal thermostat is broken and I feel hot all the time. I mean, just uncomfortably warm, and it's even worse during the summer. So -2 to +5 degrees has been quite nice. I was planning on going out on Saturday morning to go and do some drone footage, but unfortunately a computer server had different thoughts and I didn't get to bed until about 3:30 in the morning on the Saturday morning, because trying to get the server working. And I woke up really quite early on Saturday morning, was awake again by about 5:30. I showered and dressed and everything, and looked outside and it was really, really foggy. So unfortunately the subject I wanted to photograph on Saturday was completely shrouded in fog, so there was just no point. But it allowed me to turn my attention back to finishing off the server. That turned out to be a line of code missing. I ended up talking to the programmer who wrote the software that's running on the server, and embarrassingly he just went, "Oh yeah, it's that." Put the line of code in and it worked first time. So it's 12 hours of trying to get things working and it was one line of code. Life sucks. But now I'm getting here early, just as I said, just to get here. I leave at 7 o'clock. This morning it wasn't too bad getting here, but yesterday I left at 7 o'clock and I didn't get here until 8:20. Last week, one of the days, I got here at 5 to 9 and I left at 7 o'clock. That's the kind of time it's taking me to get to work. It's really quite frustrating. What else have I been up to? Well, as you may know, there is a second channel. I'll put a link here somewhere if I can get it to work. It's Matt Living with MS Drone Flying, it's called, and it's just some of the footage that I've recorded while I've been flying. I'm still learning. I'm starting to get control of the drone. It's difficult when your sort of hands are not the greatest of feedback on them. It's like I said, hands feel really numb and really horrible and tingly and our things, but it's not my fingers, back of the brain. It's there, it's the damage. So my legs and my sort of burning sensation in my feet all the time, it's not there, it's in the head. So yeah, it's really weird to comprehend, but hey, if you live with MS, well, you get kind of used to this thing. And I think if it stopped now, I would miss it, I really would. But as I said, the other channel has got some footage of some drone flying. If I can work out how to do it, I'm going to move the drone video that I put on this channel over to that channel as well, so it's just all in one thing. So if you're interested, you can go and have a look at it. If you're not interested, you don't have to go and look at it. So that's the idea. But yeah, talking about drone flying, the last time I went out with my wife, we went to fly. We went to photograph some sunrise. It was a couple of 3 weeks ago now. We got to site really early. I mean, we were on site for about 6:30. We had about half an hour to get ready for the shots and things, and sent the drone up, started the video, and let the wife have a go. And she's brilliant at it, absolutely brilliant, because she is nervous of flying. Her what's the word I'm looking for? Her control of the drone is very cautious. So what I would do, stick hard left, she does stick gently left and stick gently right and up and down and things like that. So the actual drone movement is really smooth, and hey, good for her. I'm really quite pleased. What I would like to say is keep the flying up, so that maybe when she goes on holiday, she'll take the drone with her, and she can fly over where she's going on holiday. It looks beautiful. So yeah, it would be nice if she brought back some video. Anyway, going back to the video, we were flying quite well. The sun started to rise. I brought the drone round to start looking at the sun just coming over the top of a hill. Looked really picturesque. Behind me there was a radio transmitter which was lit up with this lovely pinky red colour against all the white radomes of the phone system that was on that tower. So I brought the drone around, videoed that as well, and spent probably about half an hour flying around, just sort of looking at the sun, as it were. It was time to bring the drone back, so I brought it back and we landed. I packed up. My wife got some footage on her phone as well, which was great. And when she came back, we had a quick look at a nearby point of interest, which is only literally 2-minute drive from where we were, which we decided we're going to have another look at in the future. Then she wanted to go to the shops on the way home. Now, this is now about 8:45, so we stopped at the supermarket on the way back where she was out getting a few bits and pieces. I thought I'll have a quick look at the drone footage and just see if it's all good and things. So I looked at the preview thing, which the drone records to a memory stick, but it also dumps a copy to the phone here. So I'm using a phone to do this video. So I'm looking at the video footage, or rather I'm looking at the folder where the video footage should be. And you know where I'm going with this. Absolutely nothing. Muggins here forgot to hit record on the video recorder on the drone. Forgot to actually press it. So the whole morning was completely wasted. The only footage we have got is what my better half videoed with her phone. It'd be about typical, really. But it was just nice spending some time with her. With her working nights and I work days, we don't get to see very much of each other. On the plus side, it really stops family arguments and things, but on the bad side of it, I don't actually see her that much. And I do miss the other girl. And so she's off to the Maldives, so if she can carry on learning to fly, she can take the drone with her and we're good. Right, for the eagle-eyed amongst you, you'll notice the camera's just moved slightly. While I was recording the last part of the video, an application launched itself and just completely stopped the recording and things like that. So don't know why it's doing it. My phone is doing some very, very strange things at the moment. If I'm on a call, for example, it will disconnect the audio from the car, it will disconnect it from the headset if it's plugged in. Other times it works just fine. So it's just doing some very random stuff at the moment. I've scanned it for viruses and all sorts of things. There's nothing on there. So I don't know. The phone itself is what? I can't remember when the Note. It's a Note, Samsung Note I'm using. I don't know when the Samsung Note was launched. I can't remember, but I bought this phone probably about 4 months after it was launched, so it's probably quite old now. Unfortunately, I can't afford one of the new phones. I'd like to replace it, but we're talking stupid money now because they've gone up by a lot. So a lot more savings required. Probably biggest part of about another £800 to save up, really. They're stupidly expensive. I don't have the phone on contract. I'm on a pay-as-you, not a pay-as-you-go, but a SIM-only thing. So I own the SIM. I own the phone outright, etc., etc. It's just, you know, convenient. I have just noticed I have actually slid down the screen a little bit. So health-wise, the MS is still behaving itself, which I'm glad of. So the Kesimpta must be working. Had some scans earlier part of the year, and I've not had any contact with the neurologist at all, which I'm looking at is going, no news is good news. I did go to my phlebotomist for a blood test the last week of November, and she did mention that she was going to contact the neurologist and say that I haven't seen him, so watch this space, as it were. Bless the girl, it's the first time I can remember where my arm bruised. Normally, there's no issues at all with it, and it's not her fault. It was completely my fault. When they take the cannula out of the arm, you put a cotton bud onto it and press down just to stop bleeding and things, and you keep the pressure on for a good, say, 5 minutes or so. Removing it doesn't bruise. But this time round, muggins ear, I decide that I need to get back to work. So she takes the cannula out. I'm holding the little cotton wool bud on there for about a minute or so. Then I take it off and go, oh yeah, it's not bleeding, because it's not. And I had to leave. And the following day, bloody great big bruise on my arm. It's because I didn't keep the pressure on. So it's not the phlebotomist's fault. It's completely my own. So if you get offered to hold a cotton wool bud on there, press and hold it. You don't need to sort of press really hard, but a firm pressure on it, so it really does help. But like I said, I didn't, and paid the consequences for it. There's still a little tiny bit of a mark on there, but most of the bruise. I'd love to name the phlebotomist because she is an absolute angel. She's the only lady in that place that can get blood out of me first time every time. I mean, some of the other nurses may have to try twice. You know, they feel the vein, go for it, and the vein goes, nope, I'm out of here, and moves. So yeah, I'm just very difficult to get blood out of. So like I said, I'm still waiting to go and see the neurologist. No news is good news. I've not been called up, so I'm guessing there's no major problems with the scans and things. I've signed up for a study at the hospital. They're doing sort of national research into MS, so I've agreed that they can use medical notes anonymously, along with probably hundreds of other, if not thousands of other people. The way I look at it is, if there's anything in my test results that can help them, yeah, no problem at all. So if you do get the form through from your hospital, then yeah, do study it, read it, and maybe if you are willing to take part in it, please do. But obviously if you don't feel comfortable doing it, that's your own choice. Talking about medical things as well, the Kesimpta itself, the injections are still going well. I've got one tonight. If I can remember to do it, I'll video it. It's really interesting, really interesting. The injection sites are going well. There's no hardening the skin that I had with Rebif when I was on that. I did notice that certain parts of the injection sites where I were injecting to, even though they were being rotated quite a lot, and I mean a lot, there were still sort of firm lumps of skin. I don't know, there was lumps underneath the skin anyway where the injection sites were. But Kesimpta, I'm not seeing any of that at all. There's no feelings of any lumps or anything. Injections are still going really well. That injection pen, okay, with the Rebif, I switched out of using the auto injector and doing it manually because I found the auto injector used to have such a kick on it, it would bruise. So I went manual up. But this, the Kesimpta injector, absolutely easy to use. There's no pain, there's no sudden feelings of sharp stings or anything like that. So yeah, it does its click, you wait until it clicks again, and I usually then give it another 5-6 seconds after its second click just to make sure it's emptied itself. And I occasionally get a little tiny spot of blood. I mean, it is a little pinhead, just blood where the injection, where the needle went in. That's the only thing I've had with it, and it's usually wiped with a cotton bud, and it's gone. It doesn't come back. I don't get any of the headaches or anything fluey feelings that I used to get with the Rebif. Going back to the Rebif, that was the only side effects I ever had with that stuff. Was I would sort of go to, used to inject late at night because if I didn't, I would feel awful for about an hour after the injection. But obviously doing it late at night, just go to bed and sleep through it. But that was the only thing, was it was like these little fluey feelings. That was really not nice. I went over to Tecfidera. I can't remember it. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put the name of it down here somewhere if I remember. That was okay. It was a tablet, twice a day kind of thing. And or was it once a day? Do you know, I can't even remember that. Actually, I think it was once a day. But that one I used to take at 5 o'clock in the morning. My previous job to this one, I had to be to work for 7 in the morning, and that was an hour's drive, which is okay. So I had a radio in the car, and I used to work amateur radio on working HF on the way into work in the morning. It was quite fun. Downside of it, probably about 15 minutes after I took the medication, I would have this hot feeling, sort of burning feeling, go up the side of my head, and it's about here. So from sort of neck to here, was just this really uncomfortable burning feeling. And occasionally I used to get itching in my arms, which I couldn't stop. It was just like prickly heat, itching sort of thing. That was just a side effect of the medication. And usually by the time I got to work, the scratching and itching had gone and the redness has started fading. If I hadn't timed it right, I do get people saying to me in the office, "You're all right, you're bright red." I'm thinking, yeah, I know, don't worry about it, I'll change colour again in a bit. But that was the only side effect of that. I was then switched over to another drug which I can't remember the name of. I'll have to have a look at my notes. And that one, while I was on it, I was getting UTIs, some rotten, really bad UTIs, and I was collapsing on the floor. I got hospitalized a few times and all sorts of things. And then I was taken off that and then moved on to Kesimpta. I had to go through that horrible slimy stuff, which again, if I can work out how to do it, I'll put a link up here to the video that shows the stuff that I was having to drink for seemed like a month. It was just to get the drug out of my system before I could start on the Kesimpta, but it's doing all right. And so far, so good with the Kesimpta. It's no side effects and appears to be working. The thing I've still got about the MS is I do get these sudden bouts of, do you know, I can't be asked to do anything. It's like the video. I've been trying to do this video for weeks, but every time I get to it, it's just like I can't be asked. Or I did make a video and I shoved it through the editor and couldn't be asked to publish it, and then it was out of date and I couldn't really, no point of it, sort of thing. With the videos, this is probably attempt 4, maybe 5 of this video trying to make it. A little bit of history of it. The first one didn't make any sense. The second one, the lighting was awful, not as bad as it is now, but not as good. The third one, there was a problem with the audio. At the start of the video, the audio was matching my lip movement and matched perfectly. Then it slipped and there was about half a second to a second difference with the audio, and then it came back in and then went in ahead of the speech. I don't know what was the matter with it, so I had to ditch that. Tried to do one of these videos yesterday and didn't get around to doing it, and today I'm sat here outside of the office. It's starting to get light. I've got the car light on. This is where this light up here is. You can see it. If I turn the other one on, it'll white out the camera, unfortunately, if I do that. So you get this sort of thing here, so I'm doing that. The MS is still left hand side of my body, my left foot, my left arm, my left hand, my left fingers, and for some reason my left ear is always getting full of gunk, so I need to clean that out quite a bit. So every problem, even in the past with my eyes, it's always been my left eye that's been the problem. It's really weird, which tells me all the damage is on the right hand side of my brain. Oh well, I guess on the bright side, if when I finally check out this mortal coil, I would like to leave as much of my brain and the spinal cord as they would like to have a play with. I don't need it anymore, so if the research companies can make any use of it, brilliant. The only issue with doing that is, how the heck do I actually sign up? I spoke to my neurologist about it and he wasn't sure. I've spoken to the doctor about it, he wasn't sure. I've tried to do some sort of research on the internet, can't find anything. So if you do know how you contact the medical people and say, hey guys, when I'm dead, would you like my brain and my spinal cord, because I have no further use for it? If you do know, please leave it down below, and maybe a future video I can have a chat about that. I've got very, very strong views on euthanasia and all sorts of things, you know. Just as a bit of a teaser, well, if you go to a vet with a sick animal, they would probably put it down, put it to sleep. So why not humans? It's a work. Right, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching in. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you could click on the little bell, or if I can get it to, I don't know how to do it. I was going to see if I can get some graphics up here, you know, where you get the subscribe and the bell thing. I've seen them on other videos. I'll have to work out, see how they've done that. But if you want to, please subscribe and click the bell, so as I post new content, you get to know about it. And again, if you want me to discuss anything, we can have an open forum on anything. Please feel free to post points, questions, anything you want to do, or suggestions of videos, anything you want to know, I can try and find out, etc, etc, etc. So until next time, take care of each other. Bye bye.